Why don't we play a game published by Sega? Originally for the Dreamcast, but they were so ashamed of it, it never left Europe. This PS2 port, released a few months later, hit both sides of the Atlantic though. Headhunter. I've just cut out literally 5 minutes of exposition in the form of live-action news reports. Our character is going to lose his memory 5 minutes into the game, so will be exposed at from every orifice anyway. I shall cut the removed video back in after we beat the first boss. By that time you'll be able to piece most of the setting together, so that'll just fill in a few remaining gaps. Let's learn from this 2001 game.
Welcome to Layla. Headhunter techniques for new recruits. Basic crime fighting proficiency training. Prepare for virtual reality simulation.
Okay.
Headhunter proficiency test.
The cross interacts. Well, let's interact with this wall. Okay, I don't think this is what they meant. So, is anyone up for a 2001 cover-based shooter? Jack Wade can snap to walls, don't you know? And I can use my analog stick to do this, which serves no purpose whatsoever. Anyway, let's go. Right, we can shoot in this game. And there's our enemy. Incidentally, this is all obviously a Metal Gear Solid VR training ripoff. This game steals about 90% of all it has to offer, and the less said about the other 10%, the better. Interestingly, I have no way of aiming at any particular body part. Another thing I can't do is, pan the camera. See, the Dreamcast didn't have a second analog stick, and this is a lazy port, so the only way to pan my view is to press the lock-on button. Yeah, this should have been released on the PSP. There is an extremely dumb way to turn around, though. And that's not it. Wait. Ah yes, you hold down both the aim and the ready gun buttons, then you can turn. No, there is no way to aim up or down. Not a big problem. Headhunter is so flat it could have been built on the Pac-Man engine. Oh, and obviously there is no free aiming of any kind. Want to switch targets? Tap a button. Well, there is a way to control what target you're switching to, but it's ugly. And here we learn that Jack never aims at inanimate objects automatically. For that he needs an extra tap of the button. Why doesn't the barrel look VR?
Headhunter proficiency test.
And here's the proper introduction to sticking to walls. Well, this is very fast. The one good design decision in the game. Now I analog stick my neck out, but to lean out and shoot you need to press a button anyway. And you need to press a button to unhug the walls.
Layla, virtual reality testing.
And here's where they start shooting at us. Right, so this is one of the early cover-based shooters where you have to press the crouch button when you're sticking to low cover to actually use it. I love stun lock. You know, this reminds me of something. Ah yes. Win back. This is the PS2 port of the game originally released on the Nintendo 64 in 1999. And its cover works just the same. We lock out back against the wall. We pick a gun and press a button to pop out. Mind though, Winback did have free aiming. Now for low cover. Again, I have the option of not crouching, just in case I don't want to hide, but just want to enjoy all the benefits of having my back turned towards the enemy. Back to the show. This one guy is incredibly deadly. He's more lethal than most regular enemies. I think that's because the game really wants us to learn to dodge roll. It seems that the dodge roll is somewhat unaffected by the stun lock. Well, that was bad. Tutorial, everyone. Not the last time in the game you can get killed by simply moving wrong in the first second after entering a room. Fine, let's do it right, the boring way. One more. You bastard. By the way, that was the exit. Once we hit that portal, the real plot starts. Say, how's your knowledge of Paul Verhoeven movies? Like that one about Mars? Or the one about the police? Or the one with lots of social ads? Because some parts of Headhunter may seem very familiar.
Neural resonance 120 and rising. We have core activity. Increase to 500 megahertz. Subject is conscious. Security, it's the alarm. We have a situation. Subject is dangerous. Close all exits.
Okay, so in his escape, Jack stole a gun and a pair of cool shades. Let's check them out. I'm not sure about them. Shades or no shades? The choice is yours. In any case, Jack won't look any worse than he does in the sequel. Wait a second, I'll find a clip. Oh, here it is.
Morning.
Back to the Great Escape. Now it's real cover-based shooting time. That was easy. Jack, stop rubbing your butt on the box. Okay, remember everyone, droopy shoulders, Jack is free to move. What does that sign say? Releasing nerve gas. Oh dear. Oh, I think Jack's health is draining. This is the proper way you fight in this game. Just run up to people and empty a clip into them before they can hide. But the first time you play this, you won't notice the gas, and you'll probably properly cover-based shoot every single enemy. It will try to pop back into cover to avoid getting hit, and you will die to the gas before reaching the exit. Jack, the box. Had I ignored cover, I would have shot that guy dead by now. Assuming position. I hope you like the pistol, because this is the best long-range weapon in the game, and the only one with infinite ammo. Hooray, it's cutscene time.
Please, I can't remember.
Patient's name is Jack Wade. Found unconscious in the parking lot of an industrial park a week ago. In and out of metabolic coma the past 3 days. Gunshot trauma to the leg. Evidence of some advanced surgery.
Surgery? What surgery?
And apparent retrograde amnesia. Suggestive therapy, controlled neural rehab. Mental stimulation.
A daughter and a nation say farewell. Christopher Stern, founder and father figure of the ACN, was buried today in Arlington National Cemetery. Among the mourners, distraught Angela Stern was comforted by Alan Sharp, recently elected ACN vice president and Stern's chosen successor.
Christopher Stern was far more than a boss to me, and I'm honored to build on the foundations he laid. Decades of criminality have been reversed. Organized crime is in retreat. But we can do much more. Closer cooperation between the ACN and biotech will allow ever greater control over criminals, suspects, and those thinking criminal thoughts. The war is only just beginning.
Meanwhile, debate still rages over who was responsible for Stern's assassination, many pointing the finger at self-styled Don Emilio Fulci. Thought to have links with a criminal syndicate, little is known about Fulci. Never seen in public, his appearance remains shrouded in mystery. An ACN raid on offices of one of Fulci's business interests revealed no trace of the elusive criminal magnate. Kate?
Thanks, Bill. In other news, psychotic gangster Esteban Ramirez rose 3 points on the criminal exchange, hitting a career-high 1750. Mass murderer John Lindsay continued his slide, down 5 to 1700. No change at the top of the Headhunter League, however. Hank Redwood bringing in 3 most wanteds for his 5th successive #1 ranking. Redwood's had his critics, but it seems there's no question now that he's
second best. You were the best, Wade.
Do I know you?
Maybe this'll jog your memory. Smith & Easton Stimulator, ENP automatic. Clip size?
10 rounds.
Muzzle velocity?
850.
Payload?
Combined neurostimulants and motor cortex scrambler, producing incapacity and eventual brain death.
Like riding a bike. I'm Chief Frank Hawk, and you, Wade, were my #1 headhunter. 8 years, top of the league for 6. More captures than the rest of them put together.
I'm a regular hero.
And now you're fired. For life. Sorry, Wade, but it's orders. They don't even tell me why. Times are changing. Maybe if we knew what happened to you...
You're asking the wrong guy.
That's too bad. You could go independent. You'd have to pass the Layla test, but you'd get a weapon and a VM. Wouldn't give access to classified files, but it'd be a start.
Back to school, huh?
With an ENP gun in your hand, it could be worse. Contact me when you got your Layla license. I'll help any way I can. Word of warning. You've woken up with quite a few enemies. I wouldn't trust anyone you don't know. And right now, you don't know anyone.
Jack Wade?
Stern? Angela Stern?
You know my name.
I watch TV. Christopher Stern's daughter. I saw your father's funeral. I'm sorry.
So am I. I want you to help me, Mr. Wade. I want you to find the man who killed my father. I want Don Fulci to be sorry, too.
How do you know it was Don Fulci?
He hated my father and everything he stood for. Call it a hunch.
Why don't you tell it to the ACN?
They want to see him behind bars. I want to see him dead.
I'm not an executioner.
You don't know what you are. Retrograde amnesia, remember?
Outside of the killer, you were the last person to see my father alive. His diary shows you had a meeting with him. You were working together on some kind of secret project? Find my father's killer, and maybe you'll find out what happened to you.
I'll think about it.
Don't think too long. I'd say medical expenses are running at a kidney donation already. You can spend the rest of your life hunting lowlifes, or crack the case of the decade for a handsome fee.
How handsome?
$2 million on delivery of Fulci.
What about an advance?
My assets are frozen until my father's case is closed. You'll have to trust me.
I heard that before. Just remembered.
That's a good sign. Get well soon, Jack. And when you do, come pay me a visit.
Some place you have here.
I grew up in this house. It seemed real big and exciting then. But now... I'll get us an X-Must. Take a look around. Maybe some of Daddy's ACN stuff could help jog your memory.
Gah. Alright, I'm back in control again, and we're free to examine this dump. Well, to tell you the truth, we're forced to. But before we do that...
Angela must have the key card.
No shit, that's her house. Fancy retro cars. What do you think our mode of transport will be in Headhunter? Oh, I see this is the kicking room. What's this? Adrenaline. Quite a lot of it. Probably lethal dosage. We get no explanation for what it does at the moment. Thanks, game? I keep checking this info section of our Casio gadget, but it's empty. No objective either. In fact, technically, we don't even have the gadget yet. Some items in the room may look detailed and interactive, but they never will be. And that includes this metal safe. We're never opening it. Let's go back to Exposition Extravaganza.
That's me, Daddy, and Alan Sharp. Alan was from the wrong side of the tracks. Daddy took him under his wing, paid his tuition, put him through college, fast-tracked him into the ACN, called him the son he never had. When you're a kid, hearing that kinda hurts. Later, Alan and me were an item, for about 5 minutes.
Can I leave now? No. Let's ask for the key.
Look around some more.
Well, you're getting drunk. Okay.
My graduation diploma from MIT. Truth is, I only went there to prove a point to my father. Do something useful, maybe join the ACN one day. Boy stuff. Then I found out I had a talent for it. Computers, technology. So much for all those ballet classes. There's other stuff may jog your memory. An Agent's Handbook. The ACN Bible. Its history, philosophy, codes of practice. My father wrote every word. There's background on the standard weapon types, too. May want to refresh your memory next time you lay hands on an ENP gun. My father and the president were at Harvard together. After the military, Daddy went into industry, used his money to finance the president's election. The new penal code, privatized law enforcement, the ACN, it's all stuff they dreamed up when they were students.
They were pretty fucked up students, as you'll discover. There's some giant portrait of a woman holding a girl still.
Keep looking.
Oh, balls.
My father's Layla certificate. He insisted on taking the same tests as his men. Layla tests let headhunters upgrade their license so they can get bigger cases and better equipment. You're gonna need to get a license before you start after Don Fulci.
Look around some more. There's other stuff may jog your memory.
Zweiberg's pretty much our top scientist, a refugee from communist times. He developed the criminal control system. Without it, the ACN might have lost its war against crime. Daddy was worried about some of the Big Brother stuff biotech is developing, but Alan's gung-ho.
Here, keycard to the elevator. Use it to get in and out through the garage. Feel free to drop by any time. Mikasa Sukasa.
Finally, let's walk to the next cutscene. And then it will be time for some pure uninterrupted gameplay.
Before you go, I have something to show you down in the garage.
You can use my bike to get around town. Relic from my wild days. But it still works fine.
Nice bodywork. For a relic.
The Layla testing facilities are located here. Time to go get that license. Guess it's a while since you've been in the saddle.
I figure it'll come back to me.
Knock 'em dead, Jack.
Yes, Jack is right. I think it's coming back to me. Welcome to bike riding in Headhunter. Ah, yes, it's definitely coming back to me. Well, let's deal with the elephants in the outhouse. Originally, on the Dreamcast, you control the throttle and the brake using the analog triggers. On the PS2, however, you use pressure-sensitive phase buttons. They are a bit of a bitch to emulate. Actually, even when I played this on my real PS2 earlier this year, it didn't really give me any fine control. The map shows there's an exit nearby. Skill points? What the hell? Is there a tricking system? Anyway, so whenever I press the throttle or the brake buttons, I apply them fully. In a game not designed by idiots, that wouldn't be a problem. But you see, Headhunter has a fancy riding physics model. Let's get out of here. Oops, we can't go there. We have to use the other exit. Ah shit, right, the physics. Whenever I accelerate hard, the front wheel rises off the ground. The front wheel is used for steering, which means when I accelerate, I temporarily lose directional control. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that there is a gear indicator next to my speed. The gearbox is automatic, and whenever it decides to shift up, you get a boost of speed, which briefly raises your front wheel. So, the only way to get anywhere in this pile of shit is to make sure to never combine acceleration and turning. Now the skill points. Look at them trickling up. We'll need more of them. I think the flowing bar should be centered. Probably an emulation glitch. I have to play this with software graphics rendering, otherwise I lose most of the HUD. Here is the North District, the place where I'll be grinding for skill points. And And here is the list of things you can do to earn skill points necessary to qualify for tests, to upgrade your license and advance the plot. Number 1. Riding at high speed. This concludes the list. There are no tricks. There is no bike combat. You can't get off at random spots and solve crimes or kill criminals. You don't get any points for dealing with enemies in story on-foot combat sections. Oh, and this procedure will have to be repeated several times throughout the plot. In the meantime, take in the sights and these ugly deformed cars. There's something off about all of them. I think it's the width. To sum it up, the entire Headhunter riding experience involves grinding for speed points on a barely controllable indestructible piece of shit in the streets of a very broadly painted city. Oh, and this was released at about the same time as GTA 3, by the way. Currently I'm holding S to my favorite grinding spot. I hope you're enjoying the music, for your sake. There is only one track for bike riding. The composer of this game, Richard Jacques, has also written the music for Starship Troopers, the 2005 shooter. He also scored some additional music for the first Mass Effect. And he also did some of the music for that Sonic RPG that BioWare has released for the Nintendo DS. Okay, we're halfway there to the coveted 250 points. This long stretch of the road has a few gentle turns and the traffic is usually easy to avoid. I could have grinded on the mansion map, there's no traffic, but it's a bit too twisty. At last, we'll have to do more of this later. Yes, I know I should slow down, but I can't wait to get off this bike. Oh, and I know the map. The street layout the game gives you omits many important details, like overpasses. This is a worse driving experience than the Getaway. It might even be worse than the GTA games. Oh, and just one more thing. No, not the changing sound under the bridge. Normal arcade driving games use one button for brake and reverse. Here they are different. Pushing reverse while moving forward doesn't trigger the brake, and this is the fastest I can reverse. Fucking hell.
Jack Wade, as I live and breathe.
Sorry,
What, you don't remember me? Boy, that hurts. Hank Redwood, professional headhunter. You and me, we were real close. I was number 1, you were right up there at second best. Only not everyone saw it that way till now.
Maybe they'll change their minds again.
Most of our colleagues training in here, they only got A licenses if they're lucky. This here is a AAA. I beat your record, Jack. You want the number 1 spot, you'll have to climb right over me, starting with your very own C license.
Wait, it's coming back. Yeah, Hank Redwood. Abusive father, flunked out of high school, loved working the Vice Squad, Found he had a nose for sniffing out lowlife. Never had a girlfriend. Dog walked out on him.
Wait a minute, how did you know?
Call it a lucky guess.
Okay, smartass. Go get your C. We'll see who's laughing. Oh, and hey, my dog never walked out on me.
Here for a license? Okay. To obtain a law enforcement license, you must pass the entry grade proficiency test using the VR terminal located in the VR room. Passing further tests will allow you to upgrade your license if merited by your performance in the field. In the unlikely event that you're successful, the VR terminal can also be used to access information from the Layla database. Once licensed, you can withdraw equipment from the equipment dispenser for your grade of license. Clear? To begin the test, approach the VR terminal. That's the easy part.
Can't we skip it? Guess how many more times we'll have to grind the bike. Ignore the star locker, that's a special case. Donate organs on location. Convenient. What does the vending machine offer? No X must. Shame. Every license test comprises 4 challenges. The first one is a bike test. Oh, fuck. It's okay, it's very easy. Hit the checkpoints in any order, hit the finish. While riding a bike in Headhunter. Shit. What? Rewind, rewatch. I drove to the fucking checkpoint outline. It didn't count. Isn't that just lovely? Still, I'm doing much better than I did the first time I played this. Careful. I didn't beat the record. Fuck beating the records. I've done it on the console. I'll tell you what it unlocks. Now here is a sneaking mission. We're only allowed to use stealth attacks, of which there is one. That was it. In case you're wondering, Jack can't move until the body gently slides down him. Bugger. I hope you like this animation too, because Jack will use it regardless of the weapon he's holding. Ah, shit. I should just run past them. Oh, those are decoy shells. They make everyone run to the spot they hit. You can't aim the throw. Alright, the guy at the end. Come on, turn around. Close to the record, but solid. And finally, here's a weapons test. Here we're supposed to kill enemies who may or may not hide behind cover, while being on a timer. And we can't go to that side because of the bottomless pit between us. Also, the timer stops when you enter the exit portal, not when the last guy drops. The portal itself doesn't appear until the last enemy despawns. A new record. Fancy that. The emulator speeds up saving immensely, by the way. The last test. A bit of stealth, a bit of combat. No bike. No one gives a shit about the bike. I think it might be possible to dodge roll under his nose here, but it doesn't always work. You can get spotted in this test, but an alarm will lock the door up ahead until you kill everyone in the room. That's a lot of time down the drain, so stealth is better for now. And in the last room of the challenge, the exit won't appear until we kill them all. Let's see if there's shooting a load at the other guy. Evidently not. Yay, let's celebrate by dancing in the streets.
Your ID card in VM, Ancient Wade. Model VM52X standard issue. Biorecognition chip identifies the user, assessing his digital career resume. Access to some information may be restricted. Could be a blessing in disguise. Full operating instructions are in the online database, together with all standard briefings. Any questions? Check the database. Any problems? Give it a whack. Anything else? Ask anyone but me. Sign here, here, and here. To collect your other equipment, approach the correct dispenser for your license type and insert your ID card. Note, the VM also functions as a cellular phone.
Hi, Jack. How's it feel to be licensed again?
Like I just graduated kindergarten.
You have anything on Fulci yet?
You'll be the first to know.
Call me when you do. Find him, Jack.
Wade, good to see you back in the game.
Yeah, but shooting blind. How can I use this thing to get information on past assignments?
Sorry, Wade, that stuff's classified. You don't have clearance now you're finished with the ACN.
I need to know who the hell I am, what happened to me, what I was working on for Christopher Stern. You said you'd help.
Well, best I can do is to give you level 1 clearance. It'll give access to some of your old files, low security stuff. I'm stepping way out of line here.
Okay, I'm not reading the entire database today, just this file. You can read it too if you pause the video. To sum it up, they're looking for a biker leader named Grey Wolf in connection with Don Fulci. And apparently there are 2 guys in the gang willing to become police informers. Let's take a shot at finding them. I'll read the rest next time. Now the Star Locker. It unlocks once you get a record on every single license test. But only on the next playthrough. This is the only New Game Plus reward aside from increased difficulty. Right off the bat, it will give you every upgrade you get from every other locker, plus infinite gun ammo. It's not really worth it. Let's get our current goodies. The regular pistol, the decoys, and the tranquilizer gun I'm using never.
I'm Bill Waverly.
And I'm Kate Gloss with all you need to know.
Top of the news. Victory in the battle against organ smuggling. In one of their biggest operations to date, ACN officers armed with sniffer dogs today seized organs with a street value of $30 million in a raid on the city docks. The black market in so-called backdoor organs is estimated to cost the government $200 million a year in lost duty, as well as causing shortages for law-abiding citizens. ACN Supremo, Alan Sharp, described the raid as a boost to public health, promising the organs would be distributed free to seniors and single moms. Meanwhile, Border Police struck a blow against the market in on-the-hoof organs, capturing 35 illegals as they were being herded into the country by organ rustlers. The illegals are now being processed by immigration.
In other news, the U.S. threatened to withdraw all hamburger franchises from Russia unless Premier Iganov takes action to halt the flow of illegal weapons from the country. The move is seen as the next step in a campaign to keep conventional firearms out of the hands of criminals. Hollywood actors recently held an ENP Awareness Day, in which gun enthusiasts got to try out the new Smith & Easton Stimulator Automatic. With enhanced sound effects, recoil, and explosive impact on non-organic targets, the Stimulator promises responsible gun owners all the thrills of a conventional weapon. I certainly keep a stimulator by my bed, Bill.
Absolutely, Kate. And coming up in tonight's lifestyle feature, 2 Wheels or 4. With road accidents costing body parts and Grey Wolf's Wolfpack biker gang riding high on the criminal exchange, we ask, does riding a motorcycle make you a bad person?
The news flashes are just the best. Now we have objectives, but we'll bother with them later. There are 2 points on the map to investigate. But first, there is something I want to show you. For that, we'll need to get out of here and into the streets. Keep an eye on my skill point counter. Wasn't it 253? Let's check it again. Yes, after passing the test we can continue getting points. But there is a new catch. Watch the counter. Yes, from now on we'll lose points for strong collisions. Fantastic. This is about as much as I can take of this for one session. Next time we'll do some investigating and find another major source of the developer's inspiration.